Hey everyone, welcome to Watch It Paint It. In this video, we're going to be looking at Army Painter's new D&D paint set. It's Nolzur's Marvelous Pigments, the Undead paint set. Guys, this is a brand new paint set adding to their D&D range. Quite a few boxes of these now. In fact, that reminds me, I actually did an unboxing review of the last set and I never published it. I am a terrible person. I'll put that out very soon so you can check that one out as well. Sticking with this, I'm going to be unboxing this and hopefully doing a quick review. I'll try and paint this up and that'll be how I can review the paint. Guys, if you don't watch the channel, I use a lot of Army Painter's war paints. I think they're a great paint set. They've got good color coverage. It's high pigment, so you get a lot of mileage out of each color. They're big bottles. They last forever. I'm still using, I'm trying to find it on my desk. I am still using my dead black, my original. This is the first black I ever owned from the first paint set I ever bought. It's still going. It's 18mm. Luckily, these are smaller, so they take up less space and it makes it cheaper for you. And they match the Citadel range if you want to compare like for like. But they often sell them in 18mm bottles. But just the point is, I've been painting for 4+ years now, and the paints last forever. They come in these dropper bottles which don't dry up, so I'm not having to bin them and buy new paints. You really get value for money with these things. As I mentioned, it's high pigment. You get a lot of range out of that. It's non-toxic if you care about eating your paints, which I lick a lot of brushes, so I do care a little bit about that. And you get a matte finish, so it's not like the Tamiya range which I used, which was all glossy and horrible. Back to this paint set at hand though. It's very similar to like the Zombicide sets that they bring out. The Blood Rage sets that they've got, and they've got D&D. They've got boxes specifically aimed for a purpose. In this case, it's going to be painting undead creatures, essentially from D&D, but it's going to work with any undead creatures. So the unboxing and the review is going to go pretty much the same as normal. I like war paints. I recommend them. Nothing's going to change here. It's going to be the same. It's the same brand. It's the same type of paint. They've got some unique colors in here. Some of them look awfully close to what I already own. Are all 10 unique? That would be fantastic if they are. Going to make me a bit of a completionist though, isn't it? I'm going to want to collect every colour out of the box. So I'll just give you a little focus in here on what you're getting in this particular box. Some of those look awfully close to what I've got. As I've mentioned, Cursed Blade looks different though. What else have we got there? I'm not sure I've got this blue. And as I said, maybe all 10 are completely unique. Just some of them look Necromancer's Cloak. Bit of a dark Abomination Gore. This looks like Toxic Boils to me. I always make the reference to Zombicide set because that's where I started and that's where I learned the names. But we'll have a look at those in a minute. And the other big thing with this, which I think is so much better than the Zombicide sets, it's a shame they didn't get that going, but there's an exclusive miniature in this box. This is the, wow, I don't know what that says. Acererak miniature. Maybe I got that right. Let me know in the comments below if I just butchered what that is. Looks like some sort of zombie, some sort of lich lord, something like that. Not quite sure what he is, but you get it and it's exclusive. So I don't know what the price is. I should mention this was sent to me free of charge, not because I wouldn't buy it. Don't get me wrong. I've bought so many Army Painter paints out of my own pocket. It's just that I've now got such a large collection of paints. I wouldn't necessarily buy any more of these sets. I just keep buying the mega set, but check that out in a different video. So with this, I'm not 100% sure of the price. I'm sure it's going to be very reasonably priced. They normally are, but it could well be that that miniature alone is worth the value of the box, and then these paints are essentially free. We'll see when we see the prices, but I know that to D&D players, these are highly collectible. Let's just have a look what you get in this exact box. So we'll crack it open, and it's a familiar sight inside. Is that everything? That is everything. First thing I've noticed in the last couple of things they've sent, I really like this. Now, most companies will replace smashed, missing items or broken, but they don't make it as easy as this. I think that's a really, that looks weird. It's a bit tacky on the back, but I really think this is a nice touch they've started throwing in. It's just a simple thing, but it makes it so much easier if anything is wrong. By the by, I've now opened tens of products of the Army Painter on camera. Nothing is ever wrong. So it'd be interesting if anybody has an experience of something missing. Their quality control seems spot on. Then you get a little catalogue of various other available products by them. Let's see how updated it is. Have they got the dry brush? I don't see their masterclass dry brushes. This is out of date, guys. But yeah, it's definitely updated from the very first ones I ever got, because they've got lots of tools on there they never had. So you get a little bit of information on what they have, and then you get the official painting series. Welcome to the Dungeons and Dragons painting universe. So guys, you've seen this. This is Minsk and Boo. I've got him somewhere. I painted up the owlbear on the channel. This is Drizzit, who was in the other unboxing that I've never published. I'm a monster, but I'll sort that out shortly. Oh, we've got something else. I'll have a look at that in a minute. A little painting guide for the 3 previous exclusive miniatures that you could get. Where's the painting guide for this guy? That's the paintbrush you can get for D&D as well. But yeah, they haven't actually done a tutorial on this guy. What was his name? Something or other. So yeah, I think maybe I'll beat them to it. Whoa, guys, look at this. I just saw that out the corner of my eye. This is not the usual miniature that they include. So you get to build it yourself, which is, to some people, it seems like a lot of work. It certainly did to me for a very, very long time. I was often put off by the idea of having to build them. But having done some, they're fairly easy, with exception of Crisis Protocol, which is a joke. But everything else I've built's been quite a lot of fun. And it normally gives you, yeah, it's harder plastic. It's not got that bendy sword issue. It looks like you're going to get a much better finish on the miniature building it than the versions that they just threw in a pre-molded miniature. So this should be a lot nicer. I'm impressed with this. Just trying to have a look. It does look a little bit messy though. There's a bit of plastic. Oh, that's just popped off easy enough. There's a lot of, can you see this on camera? There's a lot of excess. It's going to need a clean up. It's nice that you get to build it. Oh, look at that. I mean, it's flimsy as anything, so that's gonna scrape off with a knife. But I think I've just got a bit used to GW and perfect molds and stuff. Very little work to do. It's going to need a little bit of cleanup, but at least it's not flimsy. Those models before were so bendable. They were fixable, and I've painted them up, and they're great. My owl bear is beautiful, but that base was wibbly wobbly. We've got a nice stiff base now. I'll enjoy building that. In fact, I'll do a video in a minute on building that, because again, there was no instructions on building this or painting that. So I'll cover that in a video, so stay tuned. Hit subscribe to the channel if you need some help with that, and hit subscribe anyway because I need some friends. Paperback in hand. Have I ever seen one of these before? Maybe. Read before use. Ah, here you go. Air and medium at the top of the bottle. Heavy pigment and medium, and then the heaviest of pigment. So this is the reason for needing the arms of a god to shake these up enough. So what have we got? We've got shake briefly, then we empty some of the medium out, and then we shake again, and then the paint's ready. I think I'll just edit this to make it a bit more of a realistic pamphlet. And with that explained, we then have it ready for use. Yeah, that's good. It's nice. They do need to emphasize this. I see a lot of people thinking these paints don't work very well. And honest, like, you just need to shake them more. Like, if you think you've shaken them forever, just shake them. If you can pop the lid off and give them a stir, that goes a mile as well. And if you've got any of their Army Painter little ball bearings, then chuck one in. That helps mix it up as well. They're not the only problematic brand. Paints just separate. Got lots of brands and they all do it. It's not just Army Painters. It's just that they get a lot of stick for it, mainly from me. But other brands deserve that stick too. Wow, they've got a picture of how I actually paint, and it tells you not to. So bear that in mind. Don't ruin your brushes. So let's have a look. There's not going to be much to say because I already like the paints, but let's have a look what you get. You get Bleach Skull, which is, by the look of that, matte white. I want to know if these are 10 unique colours or not, but that is so close to matte white, if not exactly the same. White is always useful then. You're going to get Cold Flesh. This is cool. I do not have this colour. That is a very, very, I mean, it looks massively different there, but it's very, very slightly off-white, and it's a bluey off-white. It's a very cool colour. That's going to be nice for, yeah, well, Cold Flesh it says right here, but I was going to say sort of ghouls and maybe ghosts and things like that. So excellent little colour. Oh, here we go, Ghoul Gray. So this is a very light grey. Wow. Whoa, I'm enjoying this. These are seriously pale colours. I think these probably are unique. Maybe I still feel like that's just matte white, but we're going good. These are very, very pale, very muted, pastel-y colours. Yeah, so we've got Ghostly Vapours. Oh, nice ethereal green. That actually reminds me, I've got him just here. I've been painting this chain rasp for about 6 months, but I've been doing it in Army Painter colours only, so could be a nice one for my chain rasps as well. I have to bear that in mind. Then we've got Ethereal Specter. This looks like toxic boils to me, just like a pink that I often use for tongs. Can you even speak, bro? But nice pink, a muted pink. Everything's muted, isn't it? Loving it. We've got a Vampire Garments. Nice red. Again, you know, I could take it or leave it. It looks pretty close to my Abomination Gore, just a middle red. It's, if you haven't got it, it's fantastic. If you've got it, I use a lot of red. It's probably one of the colours that eventually run out. Wow, I can't pronounce that. Whatever, scales. That's, let me give it a shake.
One eternity later.
That had a bit of, well, it's still, see what I mean? I've just shook that. I need to follow the instructions, sort that out. But yeah, that's pretty unique blue. It's maybe a bit like light denim from the Zombicide set. But if you didn't paint Zombicide, then you're not going to have these colours. I think there were unique colours in Zombicide. It's certainly, again, it's like a muted colour. These are all really muted. I'm enjoying that. What do we have here? Wraith Black. Is that not just Necromancer Cloak? So I just went and searched for my Necromancer Cloak for about a week and can't find it. You should see how I store my paints. It's a joke. But what I did find was Toxic Boils, and I just wanted to grab it and compare. And yeah, they're different. Like I say, I think they are fully 10 unique colours. You can see the difference. You can see what I mean. I could just get away with this. It's close enough. This is going to be a beautiful colour to highlight that up if I want a really subtle highlight. It's going to be really, really nice. It's going to give me easy transition between the two. I think this is going to be similar. If I could find my Necromancer Cloak, I was going to squirt a little bit out and just have a look how close they were, but who knows. But I think we've got 10 unique colours. Moldy Wash, it's going to be a green wash. We have a look at it. Let me find something. This is kind of hard to see what's in the bottle, so let's give it a little squirt out. It's going to be some sort of green wash, isn't it? We can be fairly certain of that. And oh yeah, quite a military dark green there, if you guys can see that. Pretty dark. I think I've got the sort of Horde Wash, Plague Wash is really quite vibrant, quite a bright green. So that's it. That is slightly different. It's going to be very similar if you've got green tone to that, but not to worry. And then this Cursed Blade. What colour is this? So it's a new metallic. Not heard of Cursed Blade, if it's unique as well. So let's have a look at this as well. Don't know what, it's hard to open. Here we go. Oh yeah. Oh yes. Yeah, look at, I don't know how well this comes across, but that is a very sort of weathered brass sort of look, or even like an antique gold. So yeah, I've not seen Army Painter do this colour before. So I think these are 10 unique colours. They're good. Some of them are awfully close to what I already own, but ooh, that's quite cool. It's definitely making me a bit of a completionist. And guys, it looks cool. Obviously, it's going to appeal more to you if you care about this miniature, if you're into painting D&D. And somebody let me know the backstory of this character below. You normally do that, and it's pretty interesting. I'm enjoying this. Still never played D&D. I've played RPGs now, so I've taken the plunge into that, but maybe D&D's my next one. I have been away and painted him up. So not only is this an unboxing, it is genuinely a review of the paints. Now, you've still got my standard that I just like Army Painter paints. I think they're nice, good consistency. I think they're watered down to begin with quite well. Makes it easier to thin, and I think it's got that high pigment that just applies colour really, really well. Painted this guy up, and I've got to say, the miniature was awesome, so much better than the older miniatures they were using. Now, I enjoyed painting those too, but this is just next level. Putting it together was easy, so I should start with putting it together. There's no instructions, so I am going to make an instructional video if you feel that you would like some help in building him. It is very straightforward. They did no instructions, but they numbered all the pieces, and basically you just got to put them in together in order of those pieces. It's fairly straightforward. And then painting wise, again, there was no guide, no instructions, but I tried to match it similarly to this using the two sets. They said the Undead set, and they mentioned somewhere tagging in the adventure recommended to use in conjunction with D&D adventure set. So I used those two sets and nothing else. Had a little bit of trouble making the purple, but that was it really, and achieved the rest. Let me just move this out of the way because I think the light's going crazy and you can't quite see how he looks. I'll try and show you this while I carry on talking so you can take in what you can achieve. I've also made a tutorial for this, so do hit subscribe, do check out that video if you'd like to see how I painted up this guy to look like this, which is more or less this. I changed the flesh for a different colour because I couldn't tell what that was, but it was still using this set, and I think it looks fantastic. As for the paints, I mentioned in the unboxing that I think most of them are unique, if not, and now I think they're probably all completely unique or very, very close to all of them, because there's certainly enough colours in here that I don't own, and I don't know if they're in the huge mega set, but I don't think so. So you've got Bleach Skull is basically white. I didn't really notice much difference with that. I used Wraith Black, which is not like Necromancer's Cloak at all. It's this dark, deep purple here. I actually mixed this purple up and then realized that Wraith Black was purple, and I applied it to different places, and it looks identical. It's such a deep purple, so that's great. Vampire Garments is a mid-rangey red. It's darker than other reds that I've got by them, but it's very, very similar. I could take it or leave it. Cold Flesh, I don't know if they've got anything like that, but his skin tone here is Cold Flesh. Absolutely beautiful. It's a lovely, just off white, but this really cold, bluey white, and I think that came out great. Ghostly Vapors, I didn't have much use for it, but I did his eyes. Look at those pupils beaming through the Treant Green, I think I used from the Adventurers set behind it, but I just wanted to try out that colour. I wanted to try as many of these new colours as I could, so I managed to get a little bit in there, and I think that looks absolutely fantastic. It's not going to come up much, maybe painting ghosts, ethereal style, that sort of thing, but it's vibrant and it's eerie. That's terrifying. That's haunting. Look at his face. It's haunting. Now, Ethereal Specter, I've mentioned in the unboxing, I've got loads of just slightly muted pinks like this, and I think take it or leave it. I could have used any one of them and it made very little difference. I basically mixed a bit together to highlight up the purple, but I've got lots like that. It's nothing special to me. I used some of the blue to mix the original purple that I was talking about when I didn't realize Wraith Black was purple, so I didn't really use that. It's semi-unique. I've got a lot of army painted blues, and I can probably make this with a darker one and a bit of white. Ghoul Gray, again, I've got loads of army painted grey. It's probably unique, but any grey plus a bit of white, you're going to make this. But it's nice to have them. It's always nice to have them. In the tutorial video, I mix a load of paints. I demonstrate it's not difficult to mix paints. Don't be afraid of it, but it's tedious. And some colours are just really hard to make, especially purple. So it's nice to have a new purple. Moldy Wash, I think, is probably just green tone or very, very similar. I've now got Horde Shader, Plague Shader, and Green Tone that are all slightly different greens. Moldy Wash is probably another slightly different green. I did use it. I used the Moldy Wash on the greens of his gem, his eyes, his tongue, this little face down here. And I actually covered all, let's move this out of the way, all of the metallics as well using that moldy wash. And you can see it almost looks black in places. So it's a bit more, I guess it is maybe closer to black than some of them are very deep, moldy. I guess that's the point, moldy, right? It reminds me of like sewer water, something like that. So it is potentially different enough to warrant picking up. You can see how it looks. And then Cursed Blade, that's the all-star. It's between Wraith Black and Cursed Blade for me personally. I love Army Painter metallics, and I don't think this is in the metallic set that I've got. I certainly don't recognize it. And it's this antique looking gold that I did his shoulder plate and his helmet with up here. And I just absolutely love that aged gold, maybe aged brass, something like that. But I love how it looked. I didn't really highlight this up either. It's come out really well with that moldy wash as well. So guys, there you go. That's the unboxing. That's everything in this set. That's me painting it up. For once I can review it. I've gone and done everything in the box, and I'm impressed. I enjoyed painting this miniature. It was fun to build, which is nice. I'm actually enjoying building. When it's nice to build, it was not like Crisis Protocol. It was fun. It wasn't GW clicking it all together. It was, well, I won't even say it was fiddly. It was very, very slightly fiddly, but nothing difficult whatsoever. It's got little knobbles to go in little holes. It's fairly easy, and they could click in one at a time, follow it through the steps. Watch the video, guys. You'll see how easily I did it. My gluing my fingers together is probably the worst thing, but I do that no matter what I'm building. And then, yeah, the paints all worked well. It was hard to copy this tiny bit of reference art, but I think I've done a reasonable job. Mine's a little bit brighter, which I think is going to look better on the table, a bit more poppy, that sort of thing. Anyway, guys, hopefully that video was useful for you. Let me know if you would like to see the building it together video or the tutorial, because I'll probably put this video up first. It's going to be easier to edit, and the other two are going to take me forever. So let me know in the comments below if you're desperate to see those. I think it's not going to be available to November anyway. Get your pre-orders in. I'll leave links in the description below to everything. Thank you all ever so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. A week to shake. Yep, let's just start that again. So moving on to this particular box, or sticking with, oh fuck my life, it's so hard to talk. What am I even talking about? I was doing so good as well. I feel like starting again. Shit the bed.